The next topic is main features of Indian economy on the eve of independence. Means after the independence, what were the main features when Britishers left India? At that very time, Indian economy was having very worse features, and that was number one, stagnant economy. The economy of India at that very time when Britishers left India or at the eve of independence was stagnant. What does stagnant means? When there is a very little or very low growth rate. That particular economy is known as a stagnant economy, in which the growth rate is very less. At that very time, in the British rule, the growth rate of Indian economy was only 0.1%, ranging between 1925 to 50. Means up to 1950, the growth rate of Indian economy was only 0.1%. That is very, very less. That's why the main feature of Indian economy at the eve of independence was a stagnant economy. Clear? Next is backward economy. Now, backward economy deals with low per capita income, where stagnant deals with low growth rate. The backward deals with low per capita income. Per capita income means when the total number of population earns their total income of a country, means national income of the country divided by the total population, then it comes an average income of a person, which becomes per capita income. Clear? So at that very time on the eve of independence, the Indian economy was backward economy because the per capita income was only rupees 230. Clear? At that very time in 1947-48, when the Britishers left India, the per capita income was very low and it was only rupees 230 rupees. Clear? So that's why Indian economy was supposed to be a backward economy at that very time. Clear? Next is agricultural backwardness. In Indian economy, we know that very well from the very beginning. Indian economy is supposed to be agricultural economy because most of its working population was engaged into agriculture sector. This is the current scenario where we can see that most of the population is engaged in secondary and tertiary sector. But at that very time in earlier days, when there was a lack of education and lack of facilities, at that very time most of the people were uneducated and they supposed to do agriculture as their means of livelihood. Clear? So that's why at that very time most of the population, working population, was engaged in agriculture sector. If we're gonna give an estimate, then nearly 72% of the total working population was engaged in agriculture. 72%, that's a huge share. Clear? But if we talk about the contribution of agriculture towards the national income or towards the growth of economy, it was only 50%. Means whatever the income is coming to India, it's 50% was contributing from the agriculture sector, whereas the working population engaged in agriculture was 72%. It's more than 50%. Clear? So that's why the Indian economy was supposed to be a backward economy. And moreover, the productivity per hectare was also very low. The production of rice, wheat per hectare was also very low at that very time because of lack of irrigation facilities. There was no permanent means and no high variety seeds were used. Britishers done nothing to improve the agricultural sector of India. Clear? The next is industrial backwardness. Industrial backwardness generally indicated by the fact that at that very time we were having lack of heavy industries. We were not having more heavy industries, basic industries which are essentials for the growth or development of a nation. At that very time we were lacking of that. Clear? Second thing, we were exporting only raw material from our country and we were dependent on import of heavy machinery from the Britons. Clear? From the Britishers we need to import that. Clear? And for which we need to pay more and more money to them. So industrial backwardness was there at that very time because lack of machines was there into our country, lack of heavy industry was there into our country, and we were producing only raw materials and not the finished goods. Clear? Next is rampant poverty. Rampant poverty means a regular feature. Poverty becomes a regular feature of Indian economy at that very time because of lack of education facilities and the occupational opportunities for the people. The people become unemployed. They have no source of unemployment except agriculture, and agriculture, as you know, that zamindari system prevails over there, so that makes them very, very poor because most of the amount of their production is being fetched up by the zamindars. And they were left with very less amount to be consumed. Clear? They cannot even save it. So the population of that time period of Indian economy was very poor at that time. Clear? Next was poor infrastructure. Indian economy, generally the infrastructure of a country deals with its communication system, transportation system, and IT sector of the economy. Clear? But at that very time, lack of transportation was there. Roads were not established properly, electricity problem was there, communication facilities were not available. That was very poor condition at that time. Clear? So Indian economy was in a very poor state of infrastructure at that very time. Next is heavy dependence on imports. Generally, as I have already told you, that India was primarily become an exporter of raw material, and if we need to use the finished goods, then we have to import it from the foreign countries. Clear? Consumer goods, most of the consumer goods are to be imported by India from the Britain, because Indians were forced by the Britishers to produce only raw material. Clear? So they have to import finished goods from the Britain. Second thing, the defense equipments, we were not producing here defense equipment at that very time. So in case if we need the defense equipment, then we have to import it from the Britain. Clear? So we were heavily dependent at that very time on the import from the Britain. Clear? Next is limited urbanization. Urbanization refers to that most of the population living in the urban areas. Clear? At that very time, only 14% of the population living in the urban areas, and most of the Indian population was living in the rural areas. So urbanization was very limited at that time on the eve of independence. Next is semi-feudal economy. Semi-feudal economy means at that particular time, at the eve of independence, the Indian economy was not completely feudal economy, it was not completely capitalistic economy, it was a mixture of both. It was a mixed economy, means mixture of feudalism and capitalism. Clear? Capitalism, whereby all the resources are owned by the private sectors of production, that was very less there, and feudalism means all the resources are owned by the government, and at that very time the government was British government. So the feudalism characteristics was more present in that economy. That's why that was a semi-feudal economy. Capitalism was there, but that was a very less amount, and feudalism, as you know, that is very harmful, because all the resources are owned by the government. People have to just work on the resources of the government and need to give rent to them as a if they want to do production there. Clear? So that was a semi-feudal economy at that time. The last feature is colonial economy. As in the very beginning I have told you why the colonial economy is a feature of India, because at that very time the India was supposed to be a colony of the Britishers. Clear? And they exploited Indian economy in various sector, agriculture, industrial and international trade sector. That's why the Indian economy was supposed to be a colony of the Britishers. That's why it was termed as colonial economy of the Britishers. Clear? So these were the main features of Indian economy at the eve of independence. The first is stagnant economy, means growth rate was very low. Second is backward economy, means per capita income was very low. Next is agricultural backwardness, means agricultural facilities were not at all good. More population engaged in agriculture, but contribution towards the national income was very low. Next is industrial backwardness, no heavy industries, no basic industries, no machines produced here, only raw materials is being produced. Rampant poverty, a regular feature of Indian economy at that very time due to lack of employment opportunities and education. Poor infrastructure, lack of electricity, roads, communication facilities. Heavy dependence on imports, means most of the finished goods are to be imported, and defense equipments are to be imported from the Britain. We are not producing them here, we were not producing them into our country. Limited urbanization, means only few people were living in the urban areas. Semi-feudal economy means it was a mixture of feudalistic and capitalistic economy, where feudalism was given more importance. Clear? And last is colonial economy, because India was supposed to be a colony of Britishers. Clear? So these are the main features of Indian economy at the eve of independence.